If hidden parts of our true selves reveal themselves, then that is usually behind the closed doors. Intimacy and eroticism remove a mask we wear on a daily basis. The perfect persona we present to the world melts one's face nakedness, vulnerability, and desire. Sex touches the depleted layers of our being. It carries the inscripted emotional past, the evolutionary instincts, and sex dreams we cannot rationalize away. One of the reasons why sexuality carries a lot of shame is that civilization tells us what sex should look like, what impulses are shameless, and to the point of telling us how we should make it happen. The combination of vulnerability and desire invites the disowned into awareness, making us a more complete self. The trauma we carry, or behind the trauma we carry, are our most wanted desires and instincts, but also our purest energies. Passion, creativity, courage, authenticity. They are just repressed alongside with anger and envy. One of the reasons why it feels so intense is that our loved one shows not only who they are, but also who we are not willing to be. Courage, honesty, and humility. It's what we need to accept parts of ourselves we don't want to admit to have. But parts we avoid the most are our biggest healing and key to intimacy. Don't be afraid to be consumed by darkness. You are doing it to receive a treasure of wholeness. Constantly avoiding it won't get you any farther than a deeper sense of pain, but it will make darkness conscious. Sex is a language for our emotional needs. Not the one you are aware of, but the one you are avoiding the most. There is this mystery in love and sex. Why do we feel drawn to some people like it feels like the universe has arranged it to bring us together? We may meet someone and with a snap of a finger we feel like we've known that person for years. Sometimes relationships are full of turbulence, yet the pull remains indisputable. Our perception of desire is shaped by a contrasexual figure that is existing within us. In Jung's theory, something like this is called anima and animus, energies that define our hidden sexual preferences at the level of transcendence. Sexual experiences involve a sense of serenity, wonder, and self-discovery, rather than physical pleasure in this transformative state of mind that transcends typical needs, making us see sex with vivid details. Every woman has a distinct perception of what it means to be a man, and every man has a distinct perception of what it means to be a woman. These perceptions influence our attitudes, decisions, and expectations. That's an inscripted psychological pattern, which is shaped by the process, which is shaped by experiences of many generations. Therefore, sex works as a non-verbal communication which allows partners to communicate emotions that have been spoken but are difficult to put in words and are easier to express, like profound love, vulnerability, or deep sense of belonging, which can be expressed in a deep eye contact during an intercourse. The missing half is not outside of us, but rather within. And once we say we found our soulmate, in fact, we say we found a mirror to our inner significant other, which is a recognition to our long-held internal image. The unconscious invites a higher self to integrate, develop, and evolve through attraction. The person you love turns into a metaphorical companion and mentor. The sexual experience turns into an alchemical fire, a means of connecting with one's higher self, and timeless pure consciousness experience that surpasses the senses. For a woman, the relationship with her feminine side shapes her attitude toward men and toward her own capacity of authenticity, action, and authority. And that's the glow man not only sees but feels in an explainable way as we are dealing with the shift from demanding to attracting. This magnetic, rather than effortful approach is believed to attract a partner who can step into a complementary masculine energy. A woman who embraces her receptive side creates a dynamic where a man with a strong masculine energy feels safe and invited to step forward, to lead, provide, and protect. And this is where things are getting psychologically rich in man's psyche, because man starts to associate his strength with you, seeing his higher self through you. You are not only transforming from demanding to attracting, but a set of your emotional needs and behavioral traits like warmth, creativity, and receptiveness transforms from doing to being. In romance, feminine energy captivates us, inspires us to be creative, and becomes not only an authority, but also an inner voice that explains and fortifies. Is a significant voice on the individuation journey. The integration has long-lasting effects on a relationship, where we no longer demand that the person personify our significant other. We start to see them with a clearer view and open hearts. We can celebrate each other's differences without molding them into our fantasy. And intimacy reaches its deeper self as it lives in reality rather than illusion. When intimacy shifts from illusion to reality, it becomes more raw. And authentic connections based on mutual understanding rather than performance or dependency. A question asked by many: how can we be lovers and partners with more focus on being lovers? The answer lies in connection to forbidden. Look at all the fairy tales, Tristan and Isolde, Romeo and Juliet, or even the Garden of Eden, where Eve's longing comes from fruit that off limits. The forbidden fascinate us. And apart from the fact we are hardly wired to seek dopamine, we are also hardly wired to pursuit of self-discovery through transgression. Everything that is off limits, driven by the taboo, and the feeling of freedom from breaking rules makes us feel more alive than actually free. Forbidden can mirror aspects of our suppressed shadow self that we are drawn to explore, and it can represent an attempt to feel more empowered or to seek experiences beyond ordinary. The perfect lover involves more than just two people's passion. It has to do with a desire for wholeness in the soul. How about we build trust on vulnerability, so we can arrive at the place where sexual ecstasy is driven by forbidden? Wouldn't it feel more divine? This reframing does not decrease romance, it deepens it.